will stop him together as a team. Always, that's what we're doing or trying to do against Portugal. This is what we try to do. So it's always about closing gaps and picking up runs and closing spaces. And this one we do together as a team.
Please.
I know a song in Premier League. I know it's very sharp, and I play with him. So we as characters, we have to listen to our coach, and we have the plan to stop him. Yeah.
Okay. I am Otto Addo.
Please, 1 minute. Please, may I ask the photographers to kindly stop shooting? Thank you. It's time for the photographers. Thank you. Please, your question.
I am Otto Abdullahi, Joy FM Ghana. My question goes to Otto Addo. After that 3-2 loss to Portugal, the conversations were about mistakes the team have made. What lessons have you learned from that game, and how would that influence how you approach the game against South Korea on Monday? And just before that, team news in terms of how everyone is fit. Do you have a fully fit team for the game tomorrow?
Yes, we have a very good medical department which work hard day and night, and I'm happy to announce that everybody's ready. What have we learned? I think first of all we did well. We were a little bit unlucky, and then every game you can learn something. Sometimes you get away with it, sometimes not. When we played against Switzerland, they also had some chances where we had some mistakes and which they couldn't use. We also had some chances which we couldn't use against Switzerland, but also against Portugal. So this is part of the game, and for us it's very important as a group, as a team, to learn how we can help each other to defend better sometimes, but also how we can create more chances maybe for us. So it will take too long to go individually about everything which we discussed, but I think at the end, maybe for the public we lose, but for us we never lose. We learn. We learn always, and sometimes even when we win, we learn, because it's not always like when we did everything right. So we always learn, and I'm happy to have a team which is willing to learn each and every day and work hard and to get better.
Please, may I ask the photographers to kindly stop shooting and take a seat, please. Thank you. Thank you. Question here, please.
I'm David Catra from Radio France International. I know it's far from being your main concern, but how did you deal with the criticism from the Ghanaian media regarding your tactical choices during the game against Portugal? And for you, is this World Cup an accelerated learning of the job of coach? Thank you.
The second question, I didn't get it. Maybe you have to ask again. But the first one, it's always the same. When you do something and it works, you're a genius. We played against Nigeria, we had 3 substitutions. I know that maybe when we lose, I'll be dead. And if we win, I'm the genius. And this is always the same with the media, with all the respect, but some never played football, some didn't do the job. And it's a coach job. You have to be really into it to know and understand a lot of things. And some don't understand, but it's okay for me. Let's say, if I would tell a doctor what to do, maybe I know a little bit about medicine and this, that, but I can't tell him what to do or what was wrong or right. I can just presume maybe, and especially if I don't have an inside view. And I know it's your job, and it's the job of the media, and especially negative media sells better than anything else. So this is part of the job. If you lose, you get a lot of criticism, and if you win, you are the best. But like I said, this is part of the job, and football is not like that. Sometimes you can play really, really bad and win, and sometimes you play good but you lose. This is football.
The second question, you can repeat it, please. Thank you.
Yes, sorry. Is this World Cup an accelerated learning of the job of coach for you?
Forget about the World Cup and forget about this, it's always learning. But not only for me, for everybody. And if everybody is thinking this way, we grow together.
Okay, please, question there.
Adil Quran from Egypt. My question, in 2010, Ghana was on the brink of the semi-final for the first time in African history. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. 4 years ago, all the African teams went out of the group stage. Now we're facing the same situation for all the African teams, but this time we have 5 African coaches. How can you do everything to spare it and spare African blushes in the coming games?
Okay, I think first of all, if we want to start, there was, I don't know, what's the question last time I think at the press conference, there was, at the World Cup, there was never a point zero. In Africa there are 55 countries, and I think they deserve more spots. There was never a point zero where everybody had the equal chance at the start. Never in the FIFA history. So it's very, very difficult if you have 5 spots to get further. If you have 12 or 14 spots, I don't know how many Europass, the probability that a team will get further is much, much higher. Double as high as an African team, no matter the quality. And so to ask these kind of questions really, really, for me, is unfair. And the second thing is, surely we try our best. And the football is a lot of things come together. Sometimes players are not in a good mood. Sometimes the coach takes the wrong decision. Sometimes the other team is just too good. Sometimes the referee takes good decisions. Sometimes somebody's sleeping. I don't know who, but somebody's sleeping sometimes. So it's really, really hard. And so you need a little bit of luck, but you have to work. You have to work for this luck. And up to this moment, nothing really happened. Everybody has still got chances, some more, some less. And I'm hoping and praying that at least 1 or 2 teams can proceed to the next stage.
Good day, sir. My name is Mark Gleeson from Reuters News Agency. I wanted to ask you 2 quick questions. Number one, has there been any comeback from FIFA about your comments about the refereeing in Portugal? Have you been fined or hauled over the carpet? And secondly, can you talk a little bit about your relationship with Chris Hughton and what exactly he brings to your coaching, how he helps you, etc., etc.?
No, up to this point we didn't get any answer, and maybe I can use this stage now to apologize if I was a little bit too rude, but I was very emotional after the match. Hopefully I won't get a fine. And the second thing is, we have a very good relationship. Chris Hughton is an experienced coach with a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge, and he's always trying to give his best for the team, holding a lot of things out of my head for me to concentrate on the team and on the tactics. But also there, he's given advices. I asked him. We have a good exchange with him, but also with the other coaches, Josh Boateng and Didi Darmani. And Chris does really, really well, and especially in coordinating a lot of things around the camp. He was here to inspect the hotels. He was here to organize all the things which needed to put in place, and has done a great job so far, and is a big, big help to me.
Please, question there. Any question for the player?
Okay, thank you. My name is Groom from Ethiopia. This is my newspaper. I want to ask both the coach and the player, what do you think about your fans in the stadium? When I see the Senegal fans, they support their team throughout the game. Now, what do you expect from tomorrow's game from the fans of Black Stars? I want your comment on that.
Okay, I think they are amazing. In the first game, our supporters, the supporters good, and I know tomorrow they are going to do the same. Yeah.
Yeah, I can just say the same. You know, our fans, no matter where we go, even organization we had. They were behind us, very, very solid, even after a bad African Cup, when we played the qualification against Nigeria, fully support, and the same here. I'm really surprised that there's a huge Ghanaian community in Qatar, and we really want to use the opportunity to thank them for their support, even when we arrived at the hotel, was massive. Really, really appreciate the support from the fans.
Please, question.
Thank you. My name is Maurice Kwanzaa from the Daily Graphic. My question goes to Daniel. You're one of the experienced players in the team. You recall that we have players who have not even played in a tournament situation. Some have just 2 or 3 caps. How were you, the experienced ones, able to hold the team together after the loss, and how have they overcome it? And the second one is, in our match against Portugal, the first half, you played it very tight at the back, but somehow there were a few gaps which were exploited. How have you and your colleagues spoken, and how are you going to ensure that you plug those loopholes against Korea?
Thank you. Like we have to go with our plan, like our coach told us, so we'll go with the plan. And I think it worked for us. But in the game, things can change. First half was good. The second half, I think we open up, so and then we get more chances to go forward. I think we learn and we go forward. Yes.
Maybe I think the question was for him, but maybe just to add on him, and maybe he doesn't really want to praise himself, but they did really, really well. These are world-class strikers, Ronaldo, Bernardo Silva, Felix Yao, and to hold them down to maybe one major chance where Atizigi came out really, really quick and saved us is massive. It's really, really good. That if you don't see this, I don't know. It's really, really good.
What about the younger players? How
Please.
do you know?
There is no an interview, please. This is question. Thank you.
Hi, Patrick Ridge from Stats Performer. Question in English for the coach. Mohamed Kudus was brilliant in the first game. Really took the game to Portugal, especially in the second half. He's obviously, I don't know if you saw the interview last week when he said he could emulate Neymar in ways, and he definitely showed some of those traits. Do you think he can be a star at this World Cup, or do you think he can take himself to the next level? Because he's been brilliant for Ajax this season as well.
And if you can have it, I don't know. First of all, we have to think about the team. We have to think about improvement. And he was good, but also him, he has to improve. And he can do even better. And for us, the most important thing is not, it's not about who's going to be a star. It's for us, it's about to get to the next stage. And this is the most important thing. I'm glad that you acknowledge that he's really, really good, but for us, it's not a topic at all. We want to qualify as a group, and for this we will surely need his qualities as well, and I hope that he can show even more than he did already.
Yes.
한국동아일보 김배중 기자라고 합니다. 감독에게 여쭤보겠습니다. 다른 세 팀들이 물론 다 어려운 팀들이고 이제 만만한 팀이 없겠다고 하지만은 그래도 지금 상황에서 뭐 조별리그 돌입하기 전에 그래도 가장 승리를 챙길 확률이 가장 높은 팀은 어디라고 생각하셨는지 궁금합니다.
To win the World Cup? Normally I would like to go with Germany, but the odds are not that good at the moment. I have to think a little bit. Maybe Brazil.
Please.
Group H. Group H. Yeah, I think at the moment looks like Portugal, but if they would be a little bit unlucky, we could have drawn against them. So you see anything is possible, and Uruguay is good, and South Korea also. So I think it's an equal group. Anything can happen. There might be some surprises with nobody is calculating with. But at the moment, it looks like Portugal is ahead of the group.
Okay, please question them.